What's going on, everybody? We're back. It's your friend Will. This is the Memory Lapse. And as good as the Red Deck experiment was going for us ranked-wise, it was not going well for us from a views per video standpoint. The videos performed on average 50% worse. People just don't want to see Red Deck, so we're going to try something different this morning. Todd Anderson wrote about best of one and how to build decks and how to approach the ladder. So we're going to try his take on Enigma Drake, Crackling Drake, Niv-Mizzet deck that splashes white for Clarion. So basically very similar to the Andrew Jessup deck, but you're swapping out one of the searches and three... you're swapping out a search, 3 of the spell pierces, and the Beacon Bolt for like an extra land and 3 Clarions, I think is how it nets out. The idea being that Clarion's really good against the white decks, it's pretty good against the green-black decks, and it's pretty good against the red decks, and both modes of it are good against the red and the white decks when you have a Drake in play. And you're still playing Drakes, you're still playing like dive down stuff, so you have outs against the Jeskai decks to just beat them down. So let's give this a shot. We played with a little on stream last night. Where are we? I think we're at the bottom of Gold 1 again. I switched over after losing another 2 in a row with Red Deck and just like feeling like even after 60 plus games with it and a pretty good win rate, I'm still pretty bad at keeping hands with it. Probably not mulliganing aggressively enough, because I think both of those losses were just things where I should have mulliganed. So here's a fine hand, I think. We just need to find a red source, but we have opt and 2 charts to help us do that. And the red source turns on our mass removal and our win condition. So we'll commit to playing like 20-ish games at least with this. It's a little bit slower than red. And see where our win rate ends up. And there we go. So we have to play this one this turn to have access to red the following turn. Oh, now we don't. Okay. So this way we can hide the white and just chart steam vents, steam vents. We can discard one of these. We only need one of them to get the 3rd red source for Niv-Mizzet. We're probably not even going to get to Niv-Mizzet this game. Alright, so they play another Pyromancer. We're going to take 3 here. And this puts us in a position of having to decide between, do we play the Clarion this turn, just wipe the board? Or do we play the Drake with no way to protect it? They miss a land drop, so another hand is all gas. If they have like double bolts, we're in a pretty bad spot. We'll take another 2, 4 plus, or if they have like bolt shock, when I can take another 6 and go to 6. So I think because of that, I'm going to just Clarion here. If we were on the play, I think it would be a little bit different because we would we'd have the opportunity to play the shock. But just gonna wipe the board. Get their wizards off the board. And next turn we can play Drake with shock back up. Okay, so... Oh shoot, I played the... No, I guess I need to... Alright, yeah. Alright, just playing Drake then. So this is probably going to get bolted and Firebrand down. Forgot again, this is going to come into play tap. So what I should have done is played the Drake and played the Fortress. Wow, so they have nothing? That's interesting. So let's opt first. Let's make them use the bolt now if they have it. They don't have it. So I guess the question is, I think we're just charting first main phase here. As nice as it is to draw 2, we have a lot of lands to get rid of, and just debating. We'll crack him for 6 this turn. We can shock and crack them for 7, and it's a, you know, technically a 3-turn clock, but they're at a low enough life total that we're going to use this shock, and it's going to be a 3-turn clock no matter what. So like now we use it here. They can't ping us for 1. We're going to play Crackling Drake next turn. We have dive down now. So we should be okay from 11. Like, God, I hope we're okay from 11 here. Big Bird goes in. And, yeah, from 2 mana, there's not much they can do here, so. Started off with a win. Alright. 5 more to go. Yeah, we cast 2 creatures. Didn't even notice that was our quest for the day. On the play, I think we can keep, honestly. I mean, between Opt and Discovery, we're going to see 4 to 5 extra cards. I don't think that we're going to have trouble smoothing out this draw. When we lose, feel free to gloat in the comments. Alright, so if they're red deck, they don't have a turn 1 play, which bodes well for us. Okay. So there's a red source for next turn. All right. So I guess we're going to play Discovery again. Keep digging. Enigma Drake seems good. I don't think we're going to have time for that. So we shock this. And I think we just shock this now. Again, because we don't want them doing anything like playing a cheap lightning bolt and squeezing out extra damage. We want to make it harder for them to do that. So now we should be able to engineer a block with this Enigma Drake with the dive down. Or we could also just like let them hit us and try to race them. Because right now we are winning the race and we have a shock. Yeah, so let's do that because this way, if they have double shock or anything, another Chain Whirler. So we would have been okay. Well, now we're maybe not winning the race. Alright, so we're gonna have to try to make a block this turn. So I don't think we can go 6. And we have to dive down first, because we need to keep the Drake in play. Now, if they have like a 2 damage spells, then that's fine, but they would have gotten us anyways, because we're going to take the first strike damage, right? And when it's at 1, we would dive down, and then in response, they would just have the second piece. So by doing it this way, we maximize our chance of taking the Chain Whirler off the board. We need a red source here. Clarion works too. Transforming seems fine. Very far from casting an Niv-Mizzet, medium far from casting Crackling Drake. So what's more important? Playing the Drake, probably. Letting it be a lightning rod for more burn. We'll block if it trades. I think it's all important that we present some kind of clock here. Right, Chain Whirler number 3. I don't think we want chart. We wanted to hold up the shock because exactly for this, a hasted 2/2. Do this now. So now it turns off a Wizard's Lightning. Alright, they got us again. But this turn we get to play Niv-Mizzet. And we'll play this because activating Azcanta is good. Though there's a solid chance we just die this turn. Shock is good. Alright, so we'll ping the Firebrand. Shock ping the Chain Whirler. Make sure we just pay this right. So if we take Clarion here, we can gain 6, which I think we want to do. Just cast it in the lifelink mode. Cool. Sorry, we only gain 5 because the trigger happens before it gains lifelink. So we're going to go to 9 there, and then with them on 2 cards, we were in an okay spot. So we pulled that one out. That's surprising. We were lucky that we found a lot of Drakes to do blocking there. Clarion's been good both games so far. This looks like a sick one. So you can play at that game. The shocking to opt game. It's worth holding it up to represent Spell Pierce in case they do have their like one search for Azcanta. Maybe make them think about it, but they're almost certainly going to jam it. Alright. Away we go. Does this seem likely to be good in this matchup? I'm going to say no. Another bird seems good. I don't think we want to chart yet. There's not too much that we want right now, and there's not too much that we want to discard. Oh, okay. So they are on this plan. I thought they were on our deck for a second. Alright, so let's see if they have Syncopate. So this will open us up to chart for value next turn, hopefully. If they settle us, we can still chart for value. We get the land out of our deck. I mean, I don't know why they would shock it, unless they're going to settle us or if they're hoping the Chemist's Insight. Alright. Yeah, so they wanted to Insight. That's totally fine with me. Alright, so now we have access to opt and dive down on their turn. Any drakes of their own get lava coiled. Oh, they're missing second blue. Okay, so we need to lean on the fact that they're missing second blue here. And this shock helps us kill Teferi. Which I think is important to do. Because we'll kill them very quickly. Okay. I guess the question is, do we attempt a second Drake? Yeah, I think we do, because it prevents them from kickstarting. They have to either let it resolve, or they have to, you know, Chemist's Insight. And if they wrath us, they wrath us, but we're getting a card here. So the wrath still is effectively a 1-for-1. And we have 2 more drakes. They found second blue. Oh, there's a double Clarion here, so it's even better than a 1-for-1. Interesting that it really wants to leave me with like double red-white lands on the auto tapper here. I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Especially if we can find Niv-Mizzet. Still in my combat step, come on. Alright, auto tapper, have it your way. This is probably getting countered anyways. Wow, still not getting countered. So we just get to casually draw a threat, or resolve our threat and keep drawing. Okay, can't protect from that. Gone through a fair number of Drakes. Ugh, they found their Niv-Mizzet before we did. We're gonna have to give them cards here. So we rip another land in our 22 land deck. They have no blue mana, so feels bad. Yeah. Well, we were in a really good position to win this. They had main deck Seal Away, which is really good. Yeah, and we're just gonna break off. The one downside of this list is that it does not have the velocity that the Phoenix lists have. So you are a little bit subject to this in long games. But, you know, this is not the deck that we're trying to beat. I mean, I don't think that you ever want to be playing a deck that's trying to beat Jeskai in best of one. I think Jeskai beats itself in best of one often enough. That I would not consider playing it. We're going to keep this just as something to discard if we ever draw another, like, chart. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 land is a lot. I guess we'll see what our next card is. If it's Niv-Mizzet, we have a shot here. Otherwise, we'll just scoop at this point. Alright, yeah, we'll scoop. Alright, well, let's see. That went about 20-something. Yeah, 25 minutes. That was a really long loss to Jeskai. We went 2-1, so it's not awful. And a good place to stop this video so that we can move on to the next one. So yeah, thanks again everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed a session with non-red deck. Sucks to have a long loss like that, especially when I think like we're just a Niv-Mizzet away from winning it. But that's kind of how Niv-Mizzet has been for us in these decks. Like we draw it when it's not needed to win, and we don't find it when we do need it to win. But you know, we're only playing 2 of it, so you can kind of expect that to happen a lot. Yeah, so stay tuned for the next video. I'll be playing more of this and trying to maybe go +1 game again towards Plat.